Hold on. Jacob Robinson. What a wholesome name. Wait, so is this Jacob Robinson?
Yes, ma'am.
It is. Okay. Hello. How are you? That is the most wholesome, like down to earth name that I have heard in a very, very long time. So I like it. How are you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
I am freaking excellent. So thank you for being here. Real quick before I get started, I had to run to the bathroom right quick. I was running late. And as soon, like right before I left my session room, there's whatever it is, 2 minutes, my REM pod went off, which was interesting. And so essentially here, I'll just show you what it is. So I have a couple of items behind me. I have my spirit box right here as well. So if you ever see me look at my phone, I'm not being an asshole and texting anybody. I'm seeing if I'm getting anything interesting on here. If I get anything, did they just do that? Okay, so people, you're a spirit in a body right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and so when you cross over, you don't cross over. It's just a difference of perspective, and so you still can be sassy, you still can be funny, you still have sarcasm, except now you have to go through either something like this or you have to go through somebody's brain, right? And that can sometimes be hard to get sarcasm across. Essentially, they're like trying to do a joke on here. And I think they're trying to say like a semi-funny dirty joke, like for some reason,
Oh, yeah.
which would also lead to maybe a personality thing, which is interesting. Hold on. So now, because earlier I felt like this energy that was following me around, and it was pretty decent in size, and I was like, oh, you must be pretty big. And then on here it says, how big is your size, lady? Like literally, like that's what it said, and I'm like, did we just try to do a joke through my spirit box? So we'll have to figure out that. Okay, so
Yeah.
now I have these two red lights back over here. And essentially what they are is that you are energy, your vibration, your frequency, right? So what happens is when a spirit shows up, they're always going to be here, but they have to want to connect. Chicken Express, corn nuggies, those are the best things there. But
Oh, they had to
essentially
grab
what ends up
dinner
happening,
late.
it's okay. They will come up and they can touch this by like kind of like manifesting their energy. And
Okay.
so it hasn't really gone off at all today, except for when I was about to leave. So sometimes they get pissed that I leave, which is fine. So that one went off over there. So for some reason, you see crazy lights. That's what's happening. I use that when I go to like cemeteries and stuff like that, but I also have them on during sessions because it's pretty cool too.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and just get really quiet and really weird for a second. Is this your first session ever?
Yes.
Okay, well, welcome in. I'm going to overly explain everything to you
Okay.
because that's how I like it. So I'm just going to get really quiet for a second.
Okay.
Let me close out the participants panel over here. Um, okay, so what am I'm smiling because I got this feeling of like, hey, and so it makes you feel that way. Hold on. So essentially everybody that you talk to, everybody that you know feels different, right? So like your
Yeah.
mom feels different than your dad, feels different than me, right? So when you quiet down, I know what my room feels like. I'm trying to feel what you feel like. And then everything on top of that is a spirit. And then you have to be like open enough or just have this feeling for them to connect. So I'm kind of like asking, I'm like, hey, if you're here, I know you're here. It's like tuning into a radio.
Yeah.
Mm, they don't want to talk about their passing. We're going to, which means it's very interesting. Hang on. Oh God. Comb my hair. They're talking about combing my hair. Are they making a joke about this? Oh, hold on. Hold on. I know they said her partner said that you wanted to channel somebody named Mike. Hold on. It was very interesting at the very end of my last session. I had somebody that was saying Michael, and I was like, maybe this is an angel. I don't know. No, I
Yeah.
think it was your person trying to pop through and come in my brain. Um, why? Does Mike also have like a sister as well?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. He's talking about at he says funeral, celebration of life, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he's talking about people deciding it. So he didn't have time to like pick out what he wanted for a funeral or anything like that. Is that a thing? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, don't tell me any more than that. Just because he's talking about people being like, what do we want? What does he want? What does he need? What is he this? So this could mean a couple of things for me. Hang on. And apparently I'm not going to tell you what that's going to mean because he's taking my brain someplace else. So hold on real quick. What? When he said, I don't want to talk about bad passing, that means for me that we need to talk about it. And hold on. I'm sorry. He keeps saying, I'm sorry. Hold on. It's almost like he's a little bit in denial, which is interesting. Like he's pacing. Here, I'll show you what he's doing in my brain. So he's like, up like this. He's, well, it's as though like I'm a shrink for him right now, which is interesting. Hang on. He loves you. He does. He does love you. I keep feeling what would be like his hand, I guess you'd say on your shoulder. Like that. Hang on. He misses you. He is here. And he knows you think about him all the time. And he knows that, like, he's just as disappointed that he's gone because he can't be here physically. So he's like constantly trying to make this commitment to be with you and hang around you and help you out. Brother, hold on. Give me a second. Wait, is he a brother? Or is he like best friend?
He had a brother, but I've got a brother also.
You have the brother. Okay, okay. Because he goes like this. He says, brother,
I was
brother.
thinking whenever you brought up the sister and trying to plan his funeral, my sister was frantic the whole time. So
No wonder.
yeah.
No wonder. No wonder. Yeah, absolutely. Because he's talking about this craziness with it and then sister. And I'm like, what is that? And tell me. So he says hi to brother as well on all of them. But his brother is still alive. So all these brothers are still alive though?
So he had a brother and a half brother. His blood brother was, almost more than a brother. They were best friends. So
Yeah. BFFs. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And he's still alive right now though?
mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So can you tell him hi? Can you tell him hello and like let him know that he knows? And your Ram, what? No, they don't. No, they don't. They're not Dodge people. Just to confirm, y'all are not Dodge people. Do you have a Dodge? Who has a Dodge?
So I bought a Dodge Dolly years ago, and he always
Shut up.
Having the tow mirrors up. But he also always told me to.
It's okay. We're here together. He's here.
He always wanted me to take care of my little brother, and I gave my brother that truck instead of selling it. And it's like really, I mean, it's probably could have sold it for $20,000, but I knew my brother would appreciate it. So.
Oh my God, how amazing. Oh, he literally, let me show you because it scrolls, but it keeps the words. Hold on. Oh, I've never had that show up. Hold on. Oh, that's so sweet. Wait. Okay, so I'm scrolling down to where it just came up. So that way I like to show you this so you know that I'm not full of shit. Hang on. Sorry, I have this on all day long. Hold on, while I'm doing my sessions. Oh, come on, go. There it is. Okay, where'd it go? Okay, so screenshot. I'm taking that screenshot and then I'm gonna zoom in to this part. Screenshot of that. Okay, so I'm gonna save it and then, come on. Going to my pictures, going here, turning it over, and.
Yeah.
Okay, and so I asked him, I was like, does he keep sheep or something? And then he says no, because I always tell people, like I joke with them. I said, if you have a Dodge or if you like the Dallas Cowboys, we can't be friends. And so he was like, bring that up in my brain. And I was like, no, he doesn't. And so that's what that is. And
he was also really big on the vehicle maintenance, and it's been leaking oil, and I've been all over my little brother about getting it fixed. So.
Is the pan rusted on the bottom, or what's happening with that?
So on I have his. I've got
I
my.
just said I'm nosy. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
I have his. I have my truck, but then I also still have his truck, which
Mm-hmm.
also has an oil leak, and it's something. It's nothing with the motor. It's something to do with the oil drain plug on the pan. And he told me that
Some
whenever he was alive, and I still to this day have replaced that plug multiple times, and I cannot get it to quit leaking oil.
And you can't. Okay, let me
Yeah.
tell you. So he was with me most of my day today because I looked at this little lady. This was not last session, the time before. And there was this guy that showed up and he was talking about having this oil pan or something. He just kept showing me oil leaking. I looked at her and I said, I know your car's in the shop, but is it having to deal with oil like leaking? And she was like, no, 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 no. And I don't remember what she said, but you fucking person. Hold on. Let me go back over here. Hang on. So fix it all up.
Oh yeah.
He says, oh, hell, it doesn't matter. Yes, it matters. Stop it. Hold on. Tell me. What do you mean? So is Michael like dad for you? Really? Oh my God, he's so playful. I would think of him as like a best friend. Oh my God,
Yeah.
yeah.
He was
He
always the life of the party and the loudest one in the room.
that's what he keeps doing, and I can feel his mitts.
Oh
He'll
yeah.
like do this. What? Did you? I said, did you play baseball or something? He says, no. He says, but I can hit people. And I said, oh, okay. And I said, well, that's good. And he's talking about having a brick wall run, which means he couldn't run very well. And what? Where? Where are you at? Why were you in Beaumont? What? Hold on. Was he in Waco or Beaumont area for a little bit?
I mean, he's at one point or another, he's been all through the state, but
Oh, he's been everywhere. Okay, okay,
oh
gotcha.
yeah.
And so did he end up you weren't over here. You're more drier. So are y'all more south of Dallas? Like central Texas?
We are in between Houston and Galveston, so we're on the Gulf
Oh, you're
Coast.
south. Yep, that's why he's showing me Beaumont, the Bay. Okay, that's why he's
Yeah,
showing me down
the
there.
Bay Area.
Okay. 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 Yeah. Because he keeps talking, he keeps going bah, and he's showing me south, and I'm like, Beaumont? And he shows me the coast and
Yeah.
oil and all that. And I'm like,
Yep.
maybe. Okay, hold on. Where? He's hold on. So y'all are on the other side of 45, not Friendswood? Y'all are more like NASA?
We're actually south, so
You're south. You're even more south than that. Okay,
we
okay,
are
okay.
we're in Galveston County, so
You're
we're
down
down
there.
close. Yeah.
Okay, because he goes, I said, so Bay Area. I said, are you more like Friendswood? He goes, no, 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 no. He says, more towards the water. So I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe it's NASA. Okay, so it's down south. And why? He likes it. He still lives there. He's still hanging out there. Hang on.
Yeah.
Her, and so you do talk to your mom still?
So my mom, but it depends on what's up for interpretation. So my mother
Because
passed in
he,
2016,
so
but
you have a stepmom. Is there like a
my
stepmom involved? That's
they
that.
were divorced, but my little brother's mother is who basically raised me from the time I was like 10 years old, and I still have a relationship with her.
That's that. Okay, because he goes like this. He says, "Oh, he goes, oh, I loved her," and I go, "Who?" And then he makes me feel like this mom separate. I was like, "What?" He says he still talks to her. I go, "Okay." He says, like, tell her I said hi. I go, "All right, I will." And why? That woman is a problem, not
Yeah.
your stepmom. And maybe a little bit, but hold on. Now he's trying to talk shit about your actual mom. I don't know if we
Oh
can do this in
yeah.
my brain right now. Hang on. Was she? No. Your mom didn't cheat on your dad, did she?
Uh, so my mom actually was a registered nurse that ended up getting bit by a snake,
Oh
and
my God.
while she was in there, in the hospital, got addicted to the painkillers, and ended up
That's
becoming
the
a drug
addiction.
addict.
She cheated on him without that. Okay, he showed me. He made me feel like I lost my mind, and that for me is like alcoholism. And he says that she doesn't do that. So I'm like, and he says she cheated on me or cheated the relationship. It's because of that. And
Yeah.
tell me, hang on, Mary Beth, interesting. Um, Poor woman. He's not in the same vibration as your mom. Your dad's a little bit higher. I don't think anybody got to say goodbye to her. And yeah. Oh, that's so difficult. Why are you talking about that? Hang on. Did did your mom end up like passing alone in like her apartment at home or something?
She actually was in a hospital, but it was not like an actual hospital. She had went to like a left the actual hospital and went over to a rehabilitation hospital, but it was over something minor. She was supposed to be getting out in a few days, and she ended up, we don't know for sure. They just said that she passed in the middle of the night, but I believe they were giving her pain medicine. And then on top of that, in her purse, we found a syringe that looked like a powdery substance in it. So we're assuming because she had an IV line that it was probably an overdose, that she was probably
Yeah,
punching
fentanyl.
up pills or whatever and putting it in there.
Uh-huh. Okay, because I said, so where is she at? So your mom would be in a lower vibrational state. Not bad, not like hell or super dark, but like she would be learning. So this means when I'm talking to your dad, I'm not going to be able to connect with your mom at the same time because she's on a different radio station,
Oh,
essentially. That's what it's like. But we
yeah.
can in a little bit if you want to. But he's talking about, he says, oh no, she passed alone and
Yep.
laying in bed and it was dark. And I'm like, all right. And he's giving me this sad, sad scene. And he says, but it's okay. I'm here. I go, all right, you're good. Go back
Yeah.
over here. Tell me about Luke? What? Who's the L name? The L name. The
Our
or
little brother is Logan.
Logan. Good job. Okay, now he's trying to say names in my brain. So he says, no, come on, keep going. And tell me. Oh, he says, yes, please. I know. Where? Keep making me grab your hands. Why are you having heart palpitations? Hang on. He showed me the thing. When he left his body, he's like in the hands of God, lifted me up. I was like, you are so dramatic.
Yeah.
And he's what? Such a broad chest.
Oh, yeah.
He was like what? Like 280 at
So
least?
he withered down.
Ah,
He, he's, I don't really know how to explain it. There was undiagnosed health issues that the VA could never figure out and other stuff, but he had slimmed down some, but he was always real broad shouldered.
he was always very broad shouldered. Yeah, the way he feels like, because he was like what, 6'2"? How tall was he?
So he was actually the shortest in our family. We have
He
a lot of
was.
taller people, but I mean, he was still, even as the shortest one, was still like 5'11".
He was right there. Okay, because he says that he's not taller than my husband. My husband's 6'3", but then
And
he says that he's a little bit.
he also
Hmm,
liked to over exaggerate and tell that he was taller than he was. So
that may be a thing too. Yeah, because I'm 5'11" and he's standing up next to me, and I said, "Are you huge?" And he says, "Just a little bit." So I'm like, maybe like 6'2",
yeah,
and he why? Oh, so I wonder who's the Leo? Who's the August birthday? Who's the
he
August birth?
was.
What is August? He fucking would be. He has been here with me. Oh my god, you would be. Okay, go back. Hold on. 17th. Oh, it just said me. Me. I know. Hold on. Is there a Jimmy or a James that goes with y'all?
Um, we've
Could be
got
dead or alive.
I was gonna say we've got a close family friend that is James.
James. Okay, and he's doing okay right now?
Yes, he's actually was trying to think of, because whenever you brought up the L name and Logan, then nothing
Mm-hmm.
else really came out of that, and now he's bringing up James.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever Logan was 18, he got into some legal trouble, and James is an attorney, and we got James to get him out of some pretty serious legal trouble. And here recently, even though it wasn't a major ordeal because Logan is on probation from that years
Mm-hmm.
ago,
Mm-hmm.
Dad was always worried about making sure Logan was going to be okay and get out of trouble and get his life turned around. And now he's looking at having to go back to court and everything, and James is helping him out again.
I bet that's what it is. And since personally I've never experienced court or legal troubles, that's the closest. So your dad, this is what. So I'm gonna give you my introduction now. So I mean, because obviously we're going. So when people come in, when they talk, essentially they're using you as a radio, and they talk to you this way as well. Except it's just a language you have to learn, and it takes like years to do it, right? Practice in the years. And so what happens is he hops in my brain and he's using it like a computer. And the only way that he can communicate is by taking my own thoughts, feelings, and experiences and changing them around to say, like, this is what my life was like, essentially, or this is what your life was like, or your life will be like. So he talks in 4 different ways. The first way is signs and symbols. So he may show me something like a pineapple. That means like he likes Florida, or like Florida is a big deal for him. The second way is that they talk in feelings. So he's talking in feelings. So if he wanted to say I was taken off life support, he would bring up the feeling in me of when I took my dad off life support. So it's all
Yeah.
based on my own personal things, right? Third way is that they will try to take any of my memories, things, YouTube videos, other sessions, 5-year-old memories, and he will clip them out and put them all together to say this is what was happening. And the last thing is he'll talk in words. So he's talking in words as well. But remember as well, like I said, I haven't seen, heard, and experienced everything. And so if they can't find one way, they will try to find another way. So that you saw a loop
Yeah.
around. That's what I like to call that. And how? I just said handsy. Interesting. Okay, hold on. I'm here. Hold on. Now I'm asking him, what does James do? I mean, obviously James is a attorney, but what is Logan doing? Hang on. Mm, making stupid decisions, making stupid decisions, making stupid decisions. What else the hell do you want it to be? I'm like, okay. And he's just talking about how if he was here, he'd kick his ass. And your dad's a big softy though. So
Oh,
he would
yeah.
kick his ass lightly. He's a softy, but he's talking about having a big roar. And why? He blames what? So I don't know every single type of trouble. Hold on. He got caught up. Caught up in what? Hang on. Probably gonna get this absolutely incorrect. Maybe he dealt with. He didn't do like theft of vehicle and personal property and like had a DUI or something. I don't know. What is.
Crazy. He actually, his original charges that he got in trouble for was burglary of a vehicle, burglary of a habitation, and whenever they were looking for him for those charges, they pulled him over and caught him for DWI.
Good job. See, it's because I've watched so many court shows. So he's going through and he's pulling up all the things that I've heard and he's lining them out.
Yep.
So, yes, hang on. Hold on. Okay, so I'm pausing again. I'm just telling you how it works. So I'm getting absolutely nothing right now. And I'm asking him a question and I'm saying, like, what is it now? This is so what's the importance of this? Number one, that you know your dad still exists. Number two, that you can probably show Logan and Logan be like, holy fuck, he is watching me.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the second one. Hold on. Go, go, go. And by the way, I don't judge anything. So we all have our
No,
own stories. Okay. And oh my God. Oh, is Logan like dating somebody right now? Hardcore? But he's not
Uh,
married though, right?
so he's not married. He's with the
Yeah.
same girl he's been with since high school.
Okay, they have a kid?
They have a 3-year-old and one on the way.
That's what he says. He goes, "You better take care of that fucking baby." And he goes, and I'm like, whoa, that's why I started laughing. And he says, they're not married. He says, but they need to be. He's like, he needs to get his head out of his ass to see what's going on. I was like, all right, I'll let him know. And why? Is it? I don't know. I think you're lying. That's not Diet Coke in there that you're drinking.
Yes, it is. Yeah, he always gave me crap about it because up until a few years ago, I was almost 400 pounds.
Wow.
I would go get something to eat, and he'd tell me, he's like, "Oh, you go get a double cheeseburger and a large fry, and then you wash it down with a Diet Coke. Like that's gonna make a difference."
Yes. Oh my God. Oh, that's so cool. He made me taste it. Okay. I said, I know you're good at this. I said, tell me what he's drinking. And I said, I would get sweet tea. And he was like, oh no, not that shit. And I was like, why? He says, he doesn't need that much sugar. I said, so what is it? I said, Dr. Pepper. And then he made me taste the fizzy. And I'm like, are you sure? He did it again.
Yeah.
So yeah. And oh, that's so weird. I love it. Okay, go back. Hold on. And see, I can't get too excited. Otherwise, you're not on the same tone. That's the best way I can describe it. Okay, go back. What about it? I'm getting hot. What? He wants to talk about that. His mom is crossed. Is his mom crossed? He says, I got your grandmama here too. I go, okay.
Yeah.
I'll let him know. Hold on. Hell, everybody's here. Hold on. Hold on. Huh. Logan didn't go and spend 2 days in jail for this, did he?
Actually think it was right at 2 days because we bonded him out, but it was on a weekend.
You
So,
did? Okay.
yeah.
He goes like, this isn't. I said, so what happened? Was it just like, he missed a court date or something? And he goes, no. He says that fuckhead spent like 2 days in jail. He says he got out. He says, I don't know what the hell you're doing. And so please tell Logan that his dad is watching him and he needs to make better decisions because he's gonna not only let himself down, he's gonna let all these other people down, including his new baby. Why? Yeah. Maybe he's gonna have a third one. Is this one? I think I'm gonna get this incorrect. Is this one good? No, it's not. This one's not gonna be a boy, right? The one we have right now. It's about. It is.
Gosh, he's got a boy and another boy on the way.
That's the boy on the way. Okay, because he's and you're having a mini you. It's a mini you, so you need to straighten up and act right. I can't tell you how much how excited I'm getting. That is how he feels, but it's times 10. So just picture that.
Oh,
and yeah, why? Smack. He's like talking about smacking him. And go back. So what about you? Oh, so you're married right now, though?
Yes.
Oh, he says his partner's great. And I go, oh, really? He says, yeah. I go, oh, let's talk about that. Hold on. So where does Rachel come in? That Rachel's the wife?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's my wife.
That's Rachel. Okay, hold on. What? Nicholas, little Nicky. That's a movie. Hang on. Give me a second. Hold on.
Oh.
They do this. They'll put songs in my brain. That just beeped. They'll put songs in my brain. They will put movies in my brain. Do I know what it's for?
Yeah.
Walk away. Come here. Oh my God. He's setting it off.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I knew it. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. This is why I love doing this. It's like the best thing ever. Hold on. Little Nicky. 2. Oh, Little Nicky 2 came out in 2022. Weird. Um, I guess that's when, what is, hold on. Because your dad passed before 2022, though, correct?
He actually just passed May of last year.
May of last year, so May of 2020. Ah, 4. Okay, okay. So let's look into what this is. Hang on, let me see real quick. Released on. Oh. It came out in May of 2022. Do you see how, like, right when I said that?
Yep. It's trying to.
Yep. Uh-huh. So, yep, there we go. Thank you. Thank you. Hold on. Peach Creek. All right. Go back over here. Hold on. Oh, you're wild. He's right there. He's fucking right there.
Oh yeah.
I know. Where? Okay, go back. Can we talk about your passing? Hang on. Can you go into that? I know it was hard for you. Hold on. He's playing a gospel song in my head now. Hold on. No, he doesn't. Do you have 2 kids? Do you have 2
Yeah.
kids? Oh.
Yeah.
He, he says, we're going to go over here. He says, but we're not getting away from talking about him and his family. All right. And I go, okay. I said, he has a family. I said, his office is too clean or where he's at. He goes, oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He says, he has 2 well-behaved kids. And I go,
It's,
oh,
I left the house and came to my office because I know the house would be a little chaos between dogs and kids.
that would be why. Okay, okay, because it's not a home office. You're at your office. I gotcha.
Yeah.
And tell me, but burn a doodle? You have a doodle? Do you have like a something doodle? Do you have a half poodle?
I've got a boxer, but his name is Boon.
Boon. His name is Boon.
Yeah.
Oh, how interesting. Oh, ooh, yeah, because he keeps putting the O in. Okay, I'm gonna have to say yes on that. Hold on. Go back. Boone's not old yet? Boone's like 8? How old is Boone right now? 7?
3 or 4.
Oh, he's young. He's very, very young yet. Okay, good. Because he goes like this. He says he's not too old, but he's in like the middle of his life. And so I'm like, all right, maybe he's 7. Oh shit. That can mean 2 things. That can
Yeah.
mean either something's going to happen to Boone, like right around 6 or 7, because we're
Yeah.
in the middle, which is okay. He'll come back. Is he a good dog, but is he like slightly stupid?
He's actually a very good dog, but I don't call my dogs by their names. We've got the little Boston Terrier, and she farts all the time, so I call her Little Stinky, and Boone's nickname is Big Stupid.
Stupid!
Yes.
Really?
I don't call him Boone. I call him Big Stupid.
He goes, he's such a good dog, but something stupid. And I'm like, why? So now he has your dog's nickname. I like it. Okay, 10 out of 10. Go back. Why are you making my arm hurt? What are you doing? Why are you making that hurt? Hold on. He just made all of this hurt. You didn't have shoulder surgery. Hang on. Oh, okay. So when they get in your body, what they do is it's almost like if you're in VR and like you can see like an outline of what they look like. It's odd. Hold on. He said over here. I know you're over there. Okay, tell me about it. What happened? Walk me through. He's like unimpressed with the dying process. He's unimpressed with how wham bam thank you ma'am it was. He's talking about like throwing his body over somewhere. I mean obviously it's like moving it to the morgue, right? Like that, but he's like unimpressed with this whole thing. And tell me. Okay, now it's the other side. It's the other fucking side. He's, oh my God, stop. Okay. He's trying to talk about, like, did you not get over there to see him until he was like dead, essentially? Or like, yeah, that's what he kept showing me. He kept showing you coming up. And I don't know if you actually did this, but this for me means showing respect. And he has you take off your hat and he has you grabbing it like nervous. And he has you being like, man, dad, like that. And he's like,
So I was the first one that got to the house. I got there right around the same time as EMS and everybody else. So
and he was already gone at that point. He was
yeah,
already gone. All yeah, yeah, because he's talking about floating around the room, seeing his body, and that's why they're throwing him around because they're putting on a freaking gurney and like taking him to the morgue, and he doesn't like that.
yeah,
Oh, he says it was fast. Um, we tow. Hold on. Were there three people in EMS that showed up? Were there three?
I don't. I don't even
You
remember
know.
between EMS and police. There was people everywhere.
Okay, so just because he goes like this, he says those two guys didn't know what the hell they were doing, and that woman over there sure as heck didn't know what she was doing. Blah blah. Blah. And so I'm like, all right, so maybe there's three people dealing with that. And where? It just said farm. Hold on, I know he doesn't have a farm. Hang on, go back. Tell me where you're at. Walk me through it. This is really hard. So when when I'm talking to him, this is where my brain goes. Like, and I'm trying to figure this out. Am I talking to him and it's been a year almost? Or am I
Yeah,
talking to him at the point of him passing because time doesn't exist on the other side?
yeah.
I don't know. Is the reason why I'm seeing you because I'm seeing you, or is it because he's giving me just a memory? I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. Hold on. Go back. I guess maybe he fell over. Maybe he fell out. Or maybe he fell something. Because he's talking about feeling like a ton of bricks or something. And give me a second. Was this you in my last session? Was that you? Did you show me that? It said Nick. Do you have a Nick around you or a Nicholas? I got the name Nick in my last session. It just popped up here. So I'm just asking you. You can say no.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm keeping that there. That's going to be somebody. Hold on. I where? Maybe while he was getting sick and while he was feeling bad, he doesn't want to commit suicide. That's interesting, but he's like talking about like maybe thinking I don't feel like he just died in bed. I feel like there's like some awkward area. I don't know where though. Because he's not talking. He says, "Oh, I'm not in the bedroom." I go, "Okay, so where are you at? Tell me about this." Um, it's enclosed. He's not outside. He's
He was in a garage.
that's why. Yeah, he's in the garage. Yeah, he keeps talking about how he's not outside, but it's very enclosed. It's awkward. I was like, okay, so it's that. Oh, he didn't blow his head off, correct?
Shot himself in the head.
He did. He did. That was your dad. That was your dad. He's okay. I said, did you have a heart attack or what? And he goes, no, 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 no. So at the very end of my last session, I had a gentleman that showed up. He felt like a brick wall. And he shows himself in the, I literally have me on record saying, somebody shooting themselves in the head in the garage. And that's what I was like, I bet this was him. And that's why it's easy for him to set these things off because he's middle vibration. But he's trying to find the light. He's trying to apologize to people. And then he made me hear what it was like to fall. So that's the falling afterwards.
Part of the reasoning for that, he was, I guess, the easiest way of putting it, he was never suicidal, and he would
Yeah.
always talk about people that did that were taking the easy way out. But he had, over the last few years, he had got his drinking was getting pretty heavy, and he had a questionable girlfriend. It was actually her house in the garage. And it's kind of where I'm trying to piece everything together from that day, because he's now her third dead boyfriend slash fiance in the last 9 years. And I brought that up to Santa Fe PD and told them there was suspiciousness around it. And they kind of blew it off, which I told him, I said, I mean, there's a possibility from what I see that he did it. I said, but about a month before that, my little sister had told me that they got in an argument and that she slammed a gun down in front of him and told him to do it.
Okay. So this is what, as you're talking about it, he's going, now I read people that their spouse literally murdered them and then they take another look into it and they find it true. Okay. So this is not me sugarcoating anything. So he's talking about how he did this. And the reason why I know that he did it is because in the very beginning, when he walks up, he's pacing for me is anxiety. He's nervous about it. When somebody gets actively murdered or somebody goes up and they shoot them, there's this, oh my God, they fucking killed me. Do you see that shit? Like that. And this is more like, that type of thing. But he does have it, like, as you were talking, he does have it that this person heavily influenced it, right? We don't need to place the blame on him because it's, I mean, at her, because at the end of the day, it's his choice, right? He could have left, he could have gone, he could have, I mean, all these different things.
Yeah.
But he does talk about how his thing was heavily, and I would not be surprised just from how he feels that he was given a big fuck you to her, and he's glad they didn't get married. And I would have to say they probably even got into another fight, or there was even a bigger blow up, and he decided to say screw off. And so he wasn't thinking about anything else at all besides that. And why? He didn't have a cult. Hang on. What is the other one after that? Hold on. He's showing me a gun that I have, and I can't remember the name of it. He's trying to talk about it. It's not a 22, it's the bigger one. Hold on. It said, I used. I know you're trying to show it to me, but I don't know the name of it right now, bud. It's not a Glock, it's bigger than a Glock. He's like talking about going cock, cock. So he's trying to walk me through it, and he saw stars. That's why he showed me the image of when he crossed. He didn't show me how he passed at that point. He just shows me this light going into his eyes and him going like that. Hang on. Hold on. So by the time you got there, do we think it had happened like 30 minutes prior at that point?
I only lived 2 streets over at the time, so
Maybe that.
a girlfriend called my little brother. My little brother immediately called me, and as I was running out of my house, the sirens were coming by my house, so I jumped in the truck and pulled up there right about the time as the police and EMS.
Okay, so all that right there, because he's talking about, so I'm sorry, we're gonna get TMI. He says, oh man, he says, by the time he got there, he was like, I was still warm. And I go, oh, okay. And so I was like, within 30 minutes. So remember, it's a bad experience for us, but over there they see it because they still exist. And so they're going to talk about it a little bit more nonchalantly, which is interesting.
He never liked to have deep conversation. He'll make a joke out of anything and find a way around everything.
He's still that way. Even when I'm walking him through, like, take me to your mental area with this, it's just felt something touch the back of my head, like legit, like it felt like that. Oh, that's odd. Oh, holy shit. Holy shit. Excuse. Okay, I took a screenshot.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Hold on. It touched the back of my head. And then it just said her back. Oh my god. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, I love your dad. He loves you. He's sorry that he fucked up, but he is not going anywhere. And he did get. What do you mean, Jameson? What are you talking about with that? You should not be drinking Scotch whiskey. Hold on. Hang on. He says Tito's makes my clothes come off. I said, well, that's good. You can keep them on. And he's talking about, like, he's joking about it. And hold on. So what does June have to do with you?
I
Or is like one of your kids have a June birthday?
think I think my little brother's kid is doing June.
June. Oh, that's
I
coming
believe
up.
so.
Okay. Yeah, so he's like skirting the issue again and he goes, June. And I was like, what? He says, kid, birthday. I said, no, 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 we're gonna go back here. We're gonna talk about this. We're getting into it. And hang on. She didn't steal your guns. What did we have a hell of a time getting it back? Like, did she try to keep a lot of his stuff?
So she, the night it happened, she went and stayed at her mother's house, and I knew that it would probably a hassle to get my dad's belongings back, and I had been paying the rent at her duplex for the last year. So I waited till she was gone and I went back over there and went in and just took his belongings. But the gun situation, whenever this first happened, I told the detective that as morbid and crazy as it sounded, I felt like I needed to hold the gun that it happened with. And he told me, he said, let me finish the investigation. Once it's closed and I know that there was no foul play, I don't see why you can't have it. Well, the investigation got handled poorly and they never sent off gunshot residue or anything until November. And then he finally came in March last month and told me that he was closing the investigation. So I asked him about the gun and he basically blew it off like, we'll see. I don't know. So,
So the gun never came. Okay,
yeah.
okay. Because he kept holding it. He kept holding it, and then he gave it to you earlier, and I was like, maybe it was your son's, and he's like, no, and I'm like, what is it? It's because he's trying to talk about that. So now,
Yeah.
okay, okay. So that's that. So I don't know. Hold on, tell me. Oh my God, I felt him touch the back of my head. That was so weird. Oh, now I'm like jumpy. Hang on, let me go back over here. Does your youngest kid have like a weird allergy to something? I know it's so random.
That I can think of.
Oh, you would know. He goes like this. He's talking about something youngest child, weird allergy to peanuts. And I'm just like, what? I don't make keep that in the back of your head because we just talked about the due date for June for the other one. I'm wondering if that's not going to be a thing. And he's like
Yeah.
pre-telling me this. So kind of like keep that here. Let me know in the future. And tell me why. Did they? Did they cremate him?
Yeah.
Oh, I said, where are you buried at? He says, in a little box. I go,
So
oh,
whenever you were talking about him not really being impressed with how they handled things, I paid to do the full viewing and everything else, but then we had him cremated, and he always talked about liking the idea of going to the Veterans Memorial Cemetery, but
yeah.
life's got busy and hectic, so I put a little bit of ashes and some small urns and gave them to close family members, but 90% of him has been sitting in the top of my closet ever since then. So And I feel guilt about it sometimes, thinking I need to make a decision on what I'm going to do with this. He'd be pissed if he knew he was just sitting up there in the closet.
They do. They do. That's what's it's poorly handled. That's why. Okay, please bring him out. Please put
Yeah,
him with a picture. Okay, even put him on your desk. You put him right there where that lamp is.
yeah,
Okay, have him here. You will feel the shit out of him. So put his stuff. Put that. They do talk about being in the closet, and
yeah.
he's like making a joke about that, like the being in the closet thing. And because you can feel this like that type, which is a funny energy. And go back. It's like I want you to get, I don't know, just like find a nice urn that has like you see the longhorns, this stuff, like put a longhorn on it, like add that, like add all this. And
Funny
he
you'd say
was
that.
he?
He was, both of us are big Longhorns and Cowboys fans. So the
Oh,
small urns that I had made for all the family have his name and the Cowboy star on them.
shut up. So they do have that. Oh, no wonder we can't be friends. See, now we have a ram and we have that. So both of my criterias. No,
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. No, he what because I'm from Houston. And so, we always
Oh
have
yeah.
that back and forth thing. And why? Oh, it just said fan jacket. Fan jacket. So like, did he have a Dallas Cowboys jacket or something? Or a
Yeah.
Longhorns jacket?
No, he has a
Oh.
cowboy jacket that I have.
You do have it. Oh, how cool. Okay, good job. So he knows about that. And why? Hang on. He's sorry. He loves you so much. He's here. He's not leaving y'all. He's gonna make sure that Logan gets his shit done. I do have a really bad sinking feeling, and he's giving that to me about Logan. Like this time is I can't stress it enough. Like this is his last sink or swim.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about him dying. I'm talking about him like literally losing everything and
Yes.
then going off the deep end. And he's saying like nobody can save you, buddy. Like this is shit or get off the pot moment.
He used to say it
And
all the time.
that's what he just said. Oh, and it just said you own you. So it's like it's only your choice. You own you. Oh, okay. Hold on. Why? Hold on. How? About my kid's age? No, they're not. They feel a little bit younger. Do you have a 12-year-old?
My daughter's 15.
Oh, she's older. She is. Okay, my son is 12, and then that's what I was like, no. I was like, he's not that old yet. And because she's 15, he likes her.
Oh yeah.
Loves her. The feeling like is, oh. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I will tell him. So just know that, what did we call you? Hang on. You're not Pop Pop. You're like Grandpa Buddy or something. You're something interesting.
Yeah. So I
What's his name?
my daughter was born young enough, or with me being young enough that he thought he was too young to be a grandfather.
That's what he says he
So
doesn't want.
his middle name was Paul. So he told us that the kids could call him Paul. That way it sounded like his middle name, but it wasn't old sounding like Grandpa or Paw Paw.
Pop, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, because he goes, I don't want to be called grandpa. And I was like, you have something interesting or jazzy. So yes. Oh, it just said grr. He like growled at me. That's funny. Hold on. Give me a second. Oh, and put them damn dog down. Put a dog down. Okay, what do you mean putting a dog down? Hang on. So what dog did you put down? What happened with that?
I had
Or
to
did they?
we used to rescue dogs, so I've had to put a few down over the last couple of years that we had for years and years. The only thing I
Just
can
talk.
think of is the dog I was closest with. I had to put down 2 years ago, maybe 3 years
Really?
ago.
Really? I would have to say
And
your dad is just trying to talk about how he has all them.
yeah,
All of them. They're all on the other side, which is right here. It's just in a different. Oh, Lee. Oh my God. Hold on. Oh, it just moved away. Okay, so essentially it said it said Leo,
Yeah.
like for his birthday. Um, how funny. Hold on. Your dad is a hoot. Give me a second.
Look
Are
at
they
that.
not? And y'all are done having kids. You're not going to have any more, right? Are you done
But,
with it?
I had a vasectomy a few years
Oh,
ago. My little boy was born.
that would okay. That would make sense. I said, "Are there going to be any more, Dad?" I said, "Are you sitting?" He goes, "No, no, no. They're done." He says he makes them cute though. I said, "Okay, good." Who's Anne? What is the middle name Anne? Who is that?
I'm horrible with names.
You're
So,
okay. Ask your wife about that. It may, for some reason, it feels like it goes more on like wife's side, but I don't. I know your wife's middle name is not Anne.
yeah.
Hold on. And it just said in June. In June. It just said in June. So like that's baby again. So we're just talking about baby, and it said hey. So he's like laughing. Hold on. You're doing really well. So your dad. I just want to let you know your dad's gonna probably be with me probably for the next couple of days. He's going to be popping shit in my head in and out again over and over again. So if you get random emails from me, that's why, because they won't leave you alone. There was this one time I channeled this woman's husband. He got stuck underneath a lawnmower. That's how he died. Terrible. But he popped in my brain at 1 o'clock in the morning, woke my ass up, and I had to message her what was going on. It was weird. So because of how he is, this could be a thing. So just
Oh
know that
yeah.
that's that. So, do you have any questions for me? I mean, clearly he's around. He loves you.
Yeah.
He's sneaky as shit. Is there anything for me or him while we're here?
I just want to let him know I love him.
I know. He knows. He knows. He knows. Okay, he knows the whole thing. That's why he showed up. That's why he showed up 3 hours ago. That's why he's been here. Okay. Now, the other thing, if you're interested, I mean, obviously it has nothing to do with me, but with like your dad and how he is, I mean, if so there's the app that I use, which is one of my best friends created. It's great. So they don't have any words, nothing like that, and it's just vibration. And over time, the more you practice with it, the easier it is for them to use it. And so obviously you can channel. I mean, we can all do this, but sometimes this is easier for them. And so it's called Transcend Theory. You just go on obviously your app store and like download it. But because of how well he can talk on here and use my brain, he'd be able to come through. The only thing that whenever you use anything like this, you have to make sure that you have no fear, like
Yeah.
absolutely no fear, because if you align yourself with that, then that's when like negative stuff comes in. It's not bad, but it's just not
Yeah.
good. It'll just make you feel bad. And so with him, if you downloaded this and like put it on and just put it on your desk while you work and then look over, I can guarantee you he will say like his name, all this stuff, and you'll be like,
Yeah.
that's fucking weird. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Okay, I do that with my dad all the time. I'm like, Dad, say your name. I'm gonna walk out, and I come back and it says Joseph, and I'm like, yes. And so
Yeah.
it's just a good way to like stay and connect. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to take a couple minutes. I want you to have a good. He's still trying to talk in my head. I want you to have a good breather. I want you to have a good ugly cry. When is your wedding anniversary?
March 26th.
It just happened. Okay, it was last month. Okay. Oh, and you just like brought her flowers and like dinner, but y'all didn't go anywhere?
It's exactly. I had her flowers delivered to our office, and I think we may have went out to dinner. I can't even remember, but there was nothing fancy that happened.
This is what he says. He says, you got to treat your woman better. Do you see what she did? I said, he is a good husband. He says, all he did was get her flowers at dinner. He says, they should go somewhere. And I said, oh my God, I will let them know. Okay. So yeah, that's your dad. Know that he was there for that too. So have a couple minutes, have a good breather, have a good ugly cry. If y'all ever need me again, please let me know and look out for an email. Okay.
Good to me.
Okay. All right. Love y'all.
Yes,
Mwah.
ma'am. Thank you so much.